Veebish do, fellow reloaders, this is Jace, welcoming you to Not Your Common Ammo, and we got the bench up. We've also got a few goodies, and I'll explain these here in a little bit, but folks, look at this. It is up. It is ready. It is up. It is ready. It is bolted. It is in. It's solid. Oh, love it. Okay. So let's start off. First things first. We've got the complete manual for the 243. I enjoy this. I look at this and it's got Hornady bullets. It's got Nosler, Sierra, Spear, all of those. And then it also has powders as well. Okay. Like if you got an IMR 4451, and it's going to have the grains, velocity, and the pressure on the minimum side and the maximum side. Again, that's the 4051, 41 grains. You're going to have 3,338 feet per second. That's on your velocity, and then you're going to have 58,800 psi. Okay, so that is the powders for the 44 Winchester, 243 Winchester, Scirocco. It's got a lot of information in there. Love it, love it. Also, I don't have it on camera here, but I did get the Lee Reloader's Guide, and you know, I love the information that's in it. It gives a lot of information, like how they come up with like the perfect powder measure and how to be careful with it and what to do with it. But along with that, they also give these like little stories about how they came up with this, and Lee himself, Richard Lee, came up with this and was like, hey, we got to find a way to make this better and to make it so that these people know, you know, how to safely do this. Well, his son took over the company and he just sat around and figured a way to do this. Well, that's all well and good. I love that. I love stories like that. I love stories of the fact that, you know, he said, hey, you know, I'm going to come up with something better. And he did. What I don't like about the book is it gives an advertisement not only for this, but for like 4 of the products that I'm not interested in right now. And I've bought your book. I bought your book. You know, if I buy the book, that means I've got something invested in you. Okay? I'm finding that you've got some good information. Now you're throwing an advertisement at me. Okay? It kind of set me a little bit off. But it still does have a lot of good information. I mean, a lot of good information. I mean, I'm still just sitting here like, you know, thinking of all the information that I got from it. It's like, you know, it tells you be careful about your primers because these are explosives. Just to let you know, I was in the Army and I worked with ammunition. Well, one of the things that we did, we decommissioned rounds, which is you pull the projectile off because there's a certain way to do it, and there's a tool to actually do it. Pull the projectile off, dump the powder out, discharge the powder, get rid of that, burn it off. There's no other way to use it. And then, so now you've got a case with a primer, an active primer. Now, folks, I'll let you know, this is an explosive mixed with a pyrotechnic to push your metal. Okay? So, explosive, pyrotechnic, pushes metal. Now, this guy literally takes a 50 cal round, pulls the end off. Okay? Pulls the projectile out, burns the powder, takes the projectile, or takes the case, puts the case on the side of a wooden step, just like this. Okay? So now he's got the end covered halfway, and then he takes a 6 penny nail, puts a 6 penny nail on the end. right? So he's got it balanced on the very end, just like that. And then he takes a 6-penny nail. He's got the 6-penny nail, and I swear to you, he took a pair of pliers and wrenched off the projectile. So the projectile is no good. I mean, it's all boogered up. So he puts that off to the side, and he takes that wrench, balances all of this stuff out, okay? And he takes that wrench like a hammer and hits the end of that 6-penny nail. Well, he's holding the nail. I can only do it with one hand. He's holding it just like this. Okay, if you can see how I'm holding it. Yeah, he's holding the 6-penny nail just like that. Okay, so he hits the wrench onto the penny nail. First of all, use the right tool for the right job. Okay, a 6-penny nail and a wrench acting like a hammer doesn't work. What didn't work is the primer goes off. Okay, which means all that gas and everything like that is not going anywhere because he covered up. Somehow he got the end covered. All that stuff, all that gas and everything came right back. Now, this is only just a little bit of metal. Okay, so he's holding it, right? That primer came right back up the penny nail. I mean, it came up the penny nail that far. And it got his finger on the inside, on the end, and it got his thumb. His fingers were scorched black, clear back to about middle of this little bit right here. Okay? On each one of his fingers. Scorched black. Okay? Now, he's got a cut on every single one of his fingers. He is bleeding. And he's doing this, and he's flicking blood all over the place. Okay, first of all, it's not smart to do that, okay? What was even better, he went back and did it a second time. Did the exact same thing. Went back, took the wrench, wrenched off the projectile, poured out the powder, burned off the powder. Took the case, put the case on the side, and balanced it, put the penny nail on there, and held the penny nail just like that. And was getting ready to do it again. He goes, I know what I'm doing. Yes, you did it the first time. What makes you think it's going to change? You're doing everything exactly the same as you did the first time. And yeah, he ended up scorching his fingers even worse. Now they're up to the second knuckle. They're black up to the second knuckle. And he's got really deep lacerations on his fingers. He's got 4 now. He's got 2 on this one, 2 on this one, 2 on this one. 6, I'm sorry. Okay, so, and again, he's doing this. Well, the next time I see him, he's got all 3 of these bandaged clear back up to here. And he looks like, I don't know, he's got, they're bandaged. He looks like they started to mummify him and then had to stop because of, burn marks. But the moral of this is, please, for the love of God, keep in mind explosive, projectile, and pyrotechnics. That's what you're working with. If you're smart about it, you'll be okay. All right? Now, we're going to move on to this guy. Oh, I can't believe this. I ordered these, and they are here. They are finally here. This is the unboxing. I haven't even looked at these guys. Look at this. That lid wasn't on very tight. I'm kind of concerned about that. But, okay, what do we got here? Ooh, we got the Lee. And I'm doing this, trying to see what I'm looking at here. And this is the, yep, that's a sizing lube right there. There we go. And this is the Lee resizing lube. Look at that. Yep. Wow, look at that. Yep. So we're going to throw that off to the side. Now look. I think this is upside down. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe. All right. So we've got, I'm going to turn it around there. There we go. So we've got the dipper and scoop. You scoop your powder out. Now, back in the day, they used to say, and this is one of the things I got from that Lee book. Back in the day, they used to take the black powder scoop and scoop smokeless powder with it. Back when smokeless powder just started coming onto the scene. And they were using these scoops, these black powder scoops, for smokeless powder. That doesn't work. Smokeless powder is smokeless powder. Black powder is completely different. Keep that in mind. I mean, it's like black powder and smokeless powder, those are two different, completely different animals. I mean, whew. So they were having a lot of problems at that point. So they were telling people, do not use scoops, but you can use a smokeless scoop for smokeless powder. Don't mix your powders. Don't ever mix your powders. That is bad news. All right, so this is the bullet seeding die. Oh, this is heavy, and it's got the mandrel at the end. There you go. Yep, and we've got the new gears in there. Well, you screw those down to this guy. All right, and this is the factory crimp die. There you go. You get it factory crimped right in there. Awesome, awesome. And take a look. And this is the resizing die and the primer. Puts the primer out. Now, like I said, if you're going to do something, do it the right way. Use the right tool for the right job. And if you're going to redo something, if you're going to take and undo your a 50 cal round or something like that, please, for the love of God, do it with the right tools, please. Okay, so what you do, just what I did there, I took that and I am going to, if I can get in there. Boy, they didn't make that easy to get into, did they? If you got big fingers, you can't get in there. Look at that. This is one of those things where you're like, all right, so you take the bullet holder, push that into place. I've been waiting for this for a while. I've been wanting to do this. Oh, I've been wanting to do this. All right. So you take your die, you put your die on, and you tighten it up, and you bring this down. Now, what should happen is, when you bring this down, there we go. We'll just focus in. That should just be touching, which it is. Look at that. Okay. That's what it should look like. Everything should be touching right there. Just touching. And then they say take it in a quarter. Okay? So, and then you run this back down. Okay. So now, we are there. Okay. There we go. And then you take this and you run this in there. But it's going to resize this. So you know what I'm going to need to do? I am going to need to get the resizing lube. Put a little bit of resizing lube on this and get this all done up. Because I do not want to stick anything in there. Because apparently, if you do, it is a pain to get out. All right. So, I will give an edit here. And then you will see when this is all lubed up. So, here we are. We're ready to go. I'm going to pop this first primer out. This is the first time I've ever done this. So, okay. So, I've got this greased up. So, what we do is we bring this up. Nice and easy. And, oh, would you look at that? And down she comes. And she's perfectly primed, or she's not primed, but she's perfectly sized. And somewhere around here on the floor, there is a primer. I will, after a bit of hunting, I found it. Here is the primer. Right there. And there we go. And if you pull this out, take a look at the end. There you go. Now I'm going to need to clean that out just a bit, because look at that. That is nasty in there. But there we go. Boom. Now, like I said, I did clean these the other night. I did clean my brass. So there we go. Now, folks, That was my first primer ever being popped out. Look at that. I just might keep that for posterity. There we go. And I didn't injure myself doing it, folks. All right. Look, I'm going to finish my day. I hope you have a good one. Bye.